Well, another OTF member just got hemmed up.
Yep. More trouble.
What'd you think of this? This was OTF Boona.
OTF Boona, man. They saying that he shot a guy 17 times. Not only shot him, home invaded, tied him up, robbed him, and then dropped him off in the sticks by a church and left him there dead. And it's all bad, man. Cause that name, when it come across, they saying OTF, like even the newspapers, when they put it out, they gotta throw a member of Durk entourage in there somewhere, man, you know, and it's just all bad, man.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if anyone really had the name OTF associated with him at this point, because that whole name, that's almost like kind of like when BMF was going down. Everyone with the BMF affiliation was just getting hemmed up.
Yeah, they all getting hemmed up, his crew.
Okay, how is Boona connected to Lil Durk?
That's actually one of his close friends. I don't know if you remember this clip, but it was a fan who jumped on stage, who trying to talk to Lil Durk, and he pushed him off. He just gave him an elbow and pushed him off. Well, he pushed him off, and Durk gave him $100,000 for just pushing the guy. You know, I would think like all the money, like Lil Durk is a genuine guy. He give them money, he put them in position, and none of these guys do nothing with the money. Like they don't do nothing with the money, and you know, they end up committing crimes, and by them being linked to him, everything gonna come back to him, cause he legit. So everything gonna come back to the legit person.
Yeah, I actually looked him up. Back in 2022, OTF Boona was accused of jumping out of a moving car and firing shots at 4 victims in another car, including a 6-year-old boy.
And struck him, yep. And he's still fighting that. He's still fighting that charge.
Really?
Yep. He bonded out. They bonded him out for $90,000, and then he got transferred to Illinois Department of Corrections because he had a gun case in Illinois at the time. So he just came home for that. And now he got more trouble, man. So they got a whole list on them, man. Like they been committing crimes and been doing shit, man, and just getting away with it or bonding out and, you know, not thinking that the feds on them or something. You got to know the feds on you after a while, man. After a certain amount of things, man, you got to know like they coming.
Well, yeah, the lawyer I interviewed who represented Hernandez Govan actually represented Lil Durk during that shooting case that happened in Atlanta with King Von.
At Live. Yeah, he did.
Same lawyer. He said he was actually just a little disappointed that Durk didn't call him to help him with his Fed case.
He should have. He seemed like he a bright one. He started off like he got a slow pace of an attorney, but he get to the point. He get to the point. Like he slow you down.
Yeah, no, I talked to him. I guess there was like this article that was going around that said that if King Von didn't die, he would have been prosecuted for that shooting. But then we talked about that. He pointed out that was actually a fake article.
Yeah, it was a fake article.
It wasn't a real press release. It was people just trying to put together some bullshit to try to stir things up. But yeah, no, I mean, he talked about the situation. Like, you know, Durk was there, but he basically just drove off. He wasn't involved in the actual shooting, according to him. And the footage really didn't show him as the perpetrator. So it was a relatively easy case to get thrown out. But he wasn't also representing King Von. King Von had a separate lawyer. So it is what it is.
And that's and like, do these situations, do you think like in court, like would they, even though the case is beat and everything, they still bring them up? They still find a way to throw these cases in there, like, oh yeah, he did this in Atlanta, he did this. Like they gonna have a lot of shit, man, what they saying that they did, a whole trail, man.
Yeah, this is just one of those situations where you're just hanging around the wrong people. You're not acting your wage. I've always liked to say this, act your wage. If you're making millions of dollars, you can't be around a bunch of grimy dudes that are just gonna pull out guns and shoot at the first, threat of any level of danger. This is why you have real security who actually are licensed and so forth, and will get on the stand and explain what they did in that particular situation, explain what their training is and so forth. Better yet, just get, off-duty police officers.
I tell them
They'll
that every
de-escalate things
time,
quick.
Vlad. I say that every time to people. Like, you could pay $200, man, off-duty police, an hour for off-duty police, man. You would be protected.
Yeah, think about, for example, the murder of Takeoff, right? They're sitting there playing dice with a bunch of guys who have guns on them. Things are getting heated. People are starting arguing. People started pulling out guns. If you had real security instead of like the Migos had like one of their friends, he had dreadlocks, he pulled out a gun, like he looked like one of the Migos pretty much. If you had a real police officer there that was doing security, he would have pulled out his badge and said, everyone calm down. Nothing's happening here. And everyone would have calmed down. That would have been it. There would have been no shooting with a cop right there in the middle of it. But you got a bunch of guys pulling out guns trying to see who's tougher. Oh, you got a gun, we got a gun too. Now no one wants to back down. Egos are going crazy. There's no cops around. One cop would have deaded that whole situation. Takeoff would still be doing music. The Migos probably would have been back together and, having platinum albums. But instead, you want to bring your friends along because maybe he handled a situation for you way back when and you have some sort of loyalty to him. But him pulling out the gun just escalated everything.
Yeah, they did.
It makes no sense.
And then the guy who got killed ain't have anything to do with the argument. But he took the shell and he gone.
Yeah.
It seemed like ever since he been gone though, man, like Migos feeling it. Like they feeling it like music wise and everything. Like I don't hear him like I used to hear. Like they ain't jumping like they used to be pumping, man. I just don't hear it.
I mean, Offset dropped a pretty good album. I listened to it, but Quavo really is just not a hot rapper anymore. He was like the hottest hook guy, period. Like everyone wanted a Quavo hook. Now it's like you hear him every so often.
Yeah.